opportunity to speak in agricultureinformation.com. My chosen subject is how to minimize the losses in the agriculture productivity, particularly with the harvesters. Because this topic gained in importance nowadays. As we know, the world is facing the global warming issue. There's a lot of environmental issue. Though it is not my subject, please let me touch very shortly. Due to deforestation, due to carbon uses in the day-to-day life, or maybe due to the vehicles, using of the vehicles, more fertilizers in agriculture, whatever it may be, there are different reasons. Due to industrialization, the global is warming up. As a result, the yields are coming down, and irregular weather forecasts and irregular weather bands and all this are happening accordingly due to increase of the temperature up to 3 degrees after industrial revolution. Now the human beings are facing a big problem. That is the issue. Of course, there are so many conferences or international conferences are taking place, and the governments are taking action in the part how to reduce the global warming. So that is, though it's not my issue, but we directly may not reduce the global warming, but the given crop, we have to protect the given crop. What the great Raitanna, we call it, Raitanna means the Jai Jawan and Jai Kisan. What the Kisan is growing, that has to be protected. Protected not only for him, protected for the entire population of the country as well as the world. So the crop which we seed and grow and harvest the crop, that is very important. In time, the crop should come in our hands. That is most important. So certain losses are allowed. Maximum we say in the harvesting of the grains and cereals, we say we can go maximum up to 2%. Of course, these 2% also can be avoided, but it costs a lot of time and a lot of technology and a lot of investment. So that we don't want. So this 2% is allowed. So if the more than 2%, that costs us a lot for the country, for the people, for the nutrition, for the global food chains, all these systems. Just when we see the World Bank says the climate change that we discussed already, the climate change threatens the productivity and distributes supply chains, pressure on livelihoods, leading to significantly increased hunger and malnutrition. It is happening nowadays. As we know, now the world is facing close to 19.3 crore people are facing acute food shortage, and as a result, hungerness and poverty is coming. These are more than 40 millions when you compare with the 2024 crores. More than 4 people are facing this acute shortage of the food. The World Bank says in the 80 countries running out of food shortage. The people are running out of food shortage in the 80 countries. That can be caused due to the global warming and also due to the global conflicts. The conflicts now, the current conflict, as we know, the Ukraine crisis, Russia-Ukraine war, and the NATO one side and the Russia other side. And also earlier wars like Vietnam War, like Iraq War, like Egypt War, Sudan, Syrian War, what the America did in other countries, Afghanistan, 19 years of Afghanistan war. So the war conflicts is causing the global food crisis. That is a factor along with the global global warming. That is one thing. And secondly, in interestingly, there are some crises are coming, like in Sri Lanka, what happened recently because of the organic agriculture. That is also one of the reasons. So that gives us the lesson that we should not go directly to the organic agriculture, and also we should not pass our limits, beyond our limits with the inorganic agriculture, using so much fertilizers and all. The one side excessive fertilizers we are using, and the other side less fertilizers. So this we have to find out one solution. Okay, anyhow, my problem is the given production. For example, when we see this in the year 2021 and 22, we have the production target it is happening now. That is 316 million tons we are producing in India. It is good. It's really good. 316 million tons. That is the cereals plus the grain like wheat, paddy, barley, and so on. So this 316, it may be sufficient for Indians, but how the distribution is the other political and social issue, which I don't want to touch and not my subject. So though we have a sufficient grains, the people are suffering with malnutrition in India. The data shows directly from the UNICEF that 57 lakhs of the children are about to in the direction, I mean, about to very severe malnutrition crisis. That means their health is not that much good to withstand the life. That means they may face the death penalty with this shortage of the food problem. So there's so many countries, particularly in Africa and the Middle East, these issues are facing. So India is the highest rank among the children, 57 lakhs. So these are all causing the factors. Now, as an agriculturist and as a technocrat, our issue is to bring back the given production without losses, at the minimum losses of 2%. So that is in the harvesting, particularly in the harvesting, because that is very important. In the harvesting, bringing the paddy, bringing the wheat, bringing the all type of cereals, dal, etc., etc. This is important in agriculture due to sustainable efforts, due to continuous efforts in the last after Green Revolution. Of course, in the beginning days in Punjab and Haryana states like green mechanization take place. Nowadays, you see also in South India and many states the farm mechanization. More than 50% is in Indian fields, farm mechanization is happening. Particularly, these harvesters are entering more than 50% in Indian agriculture fields. When we just look at the traditional method, first we cut the crop and we lay down on the fields and we collect the crop and put it in a heap, and after some time we will harvest and we will clean, we will knowing which separate the grains and pack it in the bags. So this is replaced in the last years, and also the states like Andhra Pradesh. I'm very happy to announce here, I am the pioneer engineer in Andhra Pradesh through Exports Limited. We had a collaboration with Class India and Exports Limited. I was the area manager at that time. I introduced the combined harvester in Andhra Pradesh. I'm very happy. That was in the 90s. In the 90s, there was a lot of resistance when we were using the combines in the Andhra Pradesh state. But of course, now without harvester, it is unimaginable in Andhra Pradesh agriculture fields. Okay, initial stage teething problems all are there. So after seeing my practical experience, I thought I can deliver this lecture to minimize the losses in the harvesting. So as we all know, the simple way of the harvesting, when you see it is a combined harvester, means which combines the actions of the all harvesting procedures. For example, we have a cutter bar here, or we say cutter head. It's a cutter head here, and we have a threshing unit where the crop is separated from the plant. That is the threshing unit. And we have a straw walker. This is a straw walker process. This is a straw walker. This is called tangential axial flow method. We have a threshing drum with concave and a straw worker. So 80% of the crop will be separated here, and maybe around 15 to 20% grains are separated on the straw workers. So simultaneously, the crop will fell down on the bed and the seed bed. From the seed bed, it goes further to through the vibration methods, eccentric vibration methods. It goes to further to upper sieve and lower sieves, and from there it can be for a short while it can be stored in a tank, and later we can discharge the paddy. This is the system of the harvester, how it works. And here we find also a winnowing system, that is fan. It can blow the air and the light particles will fall down. And of course, the straw will via straw workers will come down. It is the basic function of the straw worker when we see. And you see the losses in a combine harvester. The combine harvester mainly we will see at the losses causes at the cutter bar. The cutter bar losses can be through the shuttering the plant. So when you don't have a proper wheel, you shutter the crop and the grain will fall down. Of course, if the crop is overripe, the moisture content is very less, then naturally also the paddy or the wheat or the grain will fall down from the crop on the floor, on the ground, so that is one problem is there. That means the moisture content regulates the crop very, very important. The moisture content, of course, the variety of the crop. Some crop it can withhold with the plant, with the stem, and with the ears, and some crop may not be in a position when it get ripe, may not be in a position. So may not be in a position to be with the plant and it will fall down. So that is a big loss. So these are the losses, are cutter bar losses, and we have threshing losses. Threshing losses means when the crop is conveyed, uh, when the crop is conveyed through the threshing drum, the ratio should be 2:1. We said 2:1. That means two parts straw and one part paddy. Some people, because they want to finish early, they will cut the top of the plant, so that they will save time. They think like that. But if you don't have cushion action between the this threshing drum and the concave, what happens? This paddy will be rubbed and brushed and free through the friction. It may break. There's a breakage will be there. The breakage can be sometimes micro breakages. It can be sometimes the grain can be the most of some percent of the grain can be gone in the form of powder also, which we cannot find out how many losses that is there. That we can see only then if we can count practically before the harvesting, for example, one particular square area, how many grains we are having, and after harvesting that particular area harvesting, how many grains we are keeping in the tank. There the difference when we subtract the harvested grains from the earlier grains, then we come to know the real loss, which is a very difficult task. So some losses go there, and some losses go here in the harvester. It unthreshed. These are the unthreshed. Means the unthreshed losses come through the factors, maybe the moisture content in the moisture content of the plant, and the play between the. I will come later to that slide. That play between the threshing drum and concave, that makes a big role, and the moisture content of the plant, and the velocity of the driver, how far he will drive, it all depending factors, and the density of the crop. The density of the crop, the velocity of the operators of the harvester velocity, and the moisture content, of course, the variety of the crop, and how the ratio between straw and crop ratio you are cutting. These all are factors. They depends upon this and the play between the concave and the straw. And later we have a Later we have a straw worker here, untrusted paddy due to vibrations, eccentric vibration in straw worker. There may be some 15% or 20% in paddy which is remaining with the plants will fall down on the they will collect within the straw worker and come to the bed, and from there it will be cleaned. That is the winnowing system. Sometimes when the moisture content is more, if it is not loose, the straw, so this paddy or this wheat may not be fell down within the straw walker and causes the paddy will come with the grains outside. So this we have to very regularly we have to check. There are certain methods are there to check that. At the back side, we will put 1 square meter of your tray, and in that square meter of your tray, multiplied with the velocity of that vehicle, and we'll calculate how many grains are collected in that. Based on that, there are some tables are there. Which the table we will come to know what is the percent of this losses in this straw. So that means losses in the straw, losses in the threshing unit, and losses with the header. These are the main losses. We say cutter bar losses can be 0.5% to 2%. Cylinder losses can be 0.5%, 1%, and rack losses can be, that means straw worker losses can be 0.4%, and shoe loss, that is the cutter bar down loss, can be maximum 0.2. We say these losses can be maximum 2%. In highest position will be 2.5%, but not more than that. If that is the case, we are losing. You can imagine India is producing 300, let us say 320 millions of tons grains and cereals, out of which each 1% what you can calculate. Yeah, that is too much. So we cannot bear. So what we can do is we have to minimize the losses so that we can feed our people, we can feed our nation. That is important. So these are the losses. Of course, we have a methodology. In the latest technology, we have a methodology to put global positioning systems. Global positioning system sensor we will put at the threshing drum, and at the cutter bar we will put, at the straw workers we will put. This we will measure, and immediately based on that it will give signals to the through that global information system. It gives the signal to the operator and he will adjust. But the problem in country like India, where we have small fields, maybe 1 acre, sometimes half acre or 2 acres. When you come to the paddy field, you need bunds and all. So you don't travel that much fast and forward or reverse. So in such field conditions, whether this GPS system works or not, that is the questionable. Of course, it will work, but it costs also technology and all. So my topic today is how we will control the losses, how we minimize the losses with the help of GPS system. That is not my topic. My topic is preventionally how we can minimize the losses. That I want to say with my topic. Say for example, because since my time is less, I will touch the points, the important points, and later maybe we can have a discussion. So let us say, when you discuss about a cutter bar, this is a John Deere cutter bar. It's a bigger one. In big countries, of course, in big fields, we will find a bigger cutter bar. This may be 20 feet cutter bar. So this is called reel. Of the technical language, it is called the reel. Reel can be adjusted. Vertically as well as horizontally. That means the reel is movable frontwise, and also it can come back hydraulical with hydraulic system, and it can go up and down according to the height of the crop. So, and why we need this horizontal movement? Because sometimes the crop is standing crops are there, half standing crop is there, falling crop is there. If that is the case, accordingly we have to adjust the reel. That is one thing. The adjustment properly, the reel should be adjusted. And secondly, the RPM of the reel is correlated with the velocity of the harvester, speed of the harvester. So, for example, when we are going slowly and the reel is moving very fast, the reel RPM is very fast. What is happening? The harvesting, it will not take the harvesting between the threshing drum and concave. It will do the harvesting at the reel itself. That means the all grains are falling partially in the cutter bar unit, in the stroke, what we call it in the stroke, and some grains are falling on the ground. So that reel, don't underestimate the importance of the reel. The reel, of course, the function of the reel is gently to give the crop towards the cutter unit. We have a double blade system cutter unit to give gently the crop. It holds and give and catch and while cutting. That is the function of the reel. But when we misuse with the RPM, with the direction, height, vertically and horizontally, it may causes a lot of losses. So that we should calculate accordingly. That we have to know the function of the reel accordingly, so that we have to minimize the losses. So secondly, we have to think that the velocity of the harvester should be a function of the, should be dependent on the density of the crop. If you have a more density crop, maybe 6 tons, 7 tons, like in Sindhanur camps and all in West Godavari district, we will have 50 bags of the paddy yielding, good yielding. So in such case, you have to go slowly. If you fast speedily, this conveyor chain and threshing drum, it cannot take in time. That is the problem. Yeah, that also you have to calculate the moisture and the speed of the threshing drum and concave. This all depends the conveyor chain. So that means the density, the crop input, what is the coming input, accordingly you have to harvest that time. So, and you see there can be a losses also. For example, when you don't have this cutter bar properly fitted, this cutting blades, I will show you the blades here these blades. When these blades are not properly fitted, what happened? This blade may get loose with the bolts and the rivets. It will fall down. If 1 or 2 blades are fell down, means that particular width, these 2 blades will not work. This will not reciprocate and it will not cut the standing crop. So that is a losses, of course. Yeah? That is a disturbance, a lot of disturbance. It's a losses. So that is why in the maintenance, every morning and also during the noon time, you have to check the blade. If necessary, this blade bar, what we call it, cutter bar, this cutter bar, just you remove this and you fit a new one, and while working the machine, you can re-rivet that and refit that. Of course, in the harvester's maintenance, I should tell to everyone who maintain the harvester and who inspect the harvester and who manage the harvester, every day before the sunrise, one should go to the harvester, start working the maintenance job. Maintenance job like selecting this cut. I will come later. So many points are there how to adjust this, because when you adjust these things, when you maintain these things properly, then only your machine will work very functionally and you will have the minimum losses. So this during the morning time before you start the harvesting, when the moisture is high, so these such maintenance things we have to take care. So these are the fingers. Sometimes even this is a single finger and double finger where the blade sits. So this is the passive cutter and active cutter is the reciprocating blade. So sometimes for the lodged crop, when the crop is lodged, when the crop is fallen down, we will use the like this lifters. We call it lifters. We call it lifters. These red one. So that means when the due to heavy rains or wind, the crops will fall down. Of course, nowadays, so there are so many crops, it will grow very high and gives good yielding. Through its high yielding also, the crop can fall down because of when small wind touch. So such lodged crops can be lifted with this. In such case, be careful, losses are more and you have to drive slowly and work slowly with your harvester. And you see, there are so many factors. For example, this is the auger. This is a auger from the crop tiger. This auger, for example, it has a 2 type screw. One is the left screw and another one is the right screw. This both screw brings the crop in the middle and from there it goes to conveyor chain. So it happens due to regular harvesting. This auger, this screw, this is nothing but a metal plate. The thin metal plate will wear out. So when this will wear out, this crop will not be conveyed further to the conveyor chain. So in such case, we have a possibility to adjust the auger from horizontally so that it will come down between the trunk and there is a particular place there. So if this fingers also sometimes breaks. When this finger breaks, the crop cannot take it and convey to the conveyor chain. So such practical things, this causes and minimize when we know the function of all these things, we can minimize the losses, because every single grain saving is saving the nation. That we should forget. So we should not forget. So let us see a simple harvesting mechanism, a system here. After threshing unit, here let us say here is the threshing unit. The crop will fall down on the bed. This is seed bed, we'll call it. The seeds here we have, and simultaneously we will have a fan here. This is the fan. This is the fan here. No, we have to see from here. We have to see from here. So the crop is falling here, and this fan is there, which blows the air and come the crop outside. So this is the main system, and also you have the conveyor pedals here. 1, 2, 3. These are the pedals. It will convey it will hold the it will catch the paddy or wheat from this auger, below the auger, from that room, and with these pads, it will convey the paddy into tank. So for example, between the housing and the paddy, between housing and the pads, the clay is very tight or very loose. The belts get loose means if the paddy and the grain will damage between the sheet metal of the housing of the elevator and the pads. That you have to see. Time to time we have to replace this. So important is approximately you have to select the moisture content. The moisture content of the crop, while you are going for a crop, you select the moisture content. For the paddy, it should be around less than 30%. And for the maize, also same, like maize, sorghum is 25, beans, sunflower. Yeah? As we know, with wheat, there is a less problem. Wheat is very good, like soldiers, they stand, the plants, they won't fall down. Mostly the wheat crop won't fall down because the crop is not height, and also very easy to harvest wheat. So when you sit on the harvester, of course we harvested a lot, so many hectares, thousands of hectares of land we harvested during my studies in Germany, and also here as a dealers for the class combine harvester in my industry experience. So you enjoy that much the wheat harvesting, you like to travel like a car driving. So, but you should see, you may go speed, but inside there, whether the crushing drum and concave and the other cleaning units, aggregates, and can take the methods that we have to think of that. So we have to use this rasbar for wheat. Here, this is the crushing drum and concave. And whereas for the paddy, since the paddy crop is very strong with the plant, we use that beetle bars. We call it beetle bars. Yeah. So it happens time to time. This rasbars will wear out. Once this rasbar wear out, you have to change naturally. That you will come to know in the maintenance. Normally, you have to replace in every season. Every season means, let us say 500 hours. Take a 500 hours thumbs rule. And every 500 hours, this rasbar should be replaced. But before season, you have to replace all these things, important belts, important bearings, the welding works, gas works, painting works, tires, tubes, put here. All last but not one, the engine should be in a good condition. The engine should be in a good 100% perform condition. That is called seasonal maintenance. And the daily maintenance, what you have to do? Daily maintenance, you have to check the oil levels, you have to check the air level, you have to clean the combine harvester inside, because of the moisture. So many parts will collect there, so many small stones, so many grass and the foreign bodies. These are so many. Every time, sometimes 2 times. And the air filters, cleaning of the air filters, we will come to also know. So this is called axial tangential flow system, which you will find in the class crop tiger. So this is a regular tangential flow. So this is the cleaning system. Once again, this is the grain pail, and this is the flow, and the regulating the fan flow is very important. When you regulate less, what happened? That's all foreign body will come. It will die. This filtering does not take place properly, and you have foreign body along with the grains that we don't want. We want pure grain. So that's why the regulating of the fan, where we have a flap here, we can adjust the airflow and the direction, so that the air will go from inside, from inside, and it will blow out. This chaff and everything will come out. So the importance is the regulating the fans, the winnowing system, the complete winnowing system is very much. Likewise here, this augers here, you have a written auger, you have a grain auger. These grain augers also will get worn out time to time. Season to season, you have to replace or repair and may put it in standby. Why I am telling, these are all things you cannot replace during the in the field, the harvesting. That is not possible. You have to very thoroughly you have to do. And forward speed range should be 2.5 to 4.5 kilometers. And for the standing crop, and for the larger crop, see, almost 1/3 you have to. For the larger crop, you have to go very slowly. 1/3 very slowly. Like for example, when we are driving with the car in the rainy season, the brake length is 3 times more. So here is the 3 times more in the standing crop, and 3 times 1/3 is only for the larger crop. Such things you have to think it. Since my time is short, in another 10 minutes I will complete. My given time is maximum 30 to 40 minutes. This is a huge subject. The combine harvester maintenance is very much important, because when you see the combine harvester, it is not a sophisticated like a CNC machine. It is full of with metal sheet, full of with belts, full of with chains, full of with drums, shafts, etc., etc. So that means the wear and tear likely be more, and it causes the physical wear and tear, and it causes the natural wear and tear. This all we have to protect it. Protect with the paint, protect with the oil, protect with the grease, protect with our filters, protect with our radiator, protect with our whatever, whatnot, everything. Let us see, for example, simple air filter. If you want to protect engine, air filter is very, you have to give the fresh air inside. Like we breathe the fresh air, otherwise we will have go for mass. Like that, similarly in the combine harvester, we will find lot of dust. During the summer, we will harvest a lot of dust. This will catch the dust. You have to just knock like this in with this edge, or you can use also a compressor air. Take care, it will damage the skin of the filters. Very slowly we have to do from in to out, not from out to in, from in to out. So the dust will come like this. Now normally what we do during the harvester season, a day twice or thrice or 4 times we will change the air filters during the harvester time. That is important. That means you should have a standby 1 or 2 sets, standby sets, just remove and you keep it there. When the machine is working, you can clean it. So you should have, you need a blower, you need a compressor blower. These all things you have to adjust that. Earlier we have seen this slide, adjusting the blades. And of course, greasing the all nipples. There are so many nipples, so many mobile parts in the combine harvesters. You grease regularly, because why? If some bearing breaks, it causes the efficiency of the particular element, and it will damage the crop, and you will have a lot of losses. To minimize the losses, to minimize the harvesting time, to minimize the losses, proper greasing lubrication is very much important in the combine harvesters. So here is one blade, and see, for example, here is the straw walker. The straw walker is covered with such plates here. These plates 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. Due to the moisture content, high moisture content, small green pieces, chaff pieces will block this. When this block, naturally the straw along with the grain will fall down outside. There is a huge losses. The farmer will cry. So we will cry. That is loss of our nation. We cannot accept that. So be assured that these straw walkers are properly cleaned, and also this concave will be also blocked. The concave will be blocked through the moisture content green grass. So we have to secure. And sometimes it may break. Some small stones will come inside. Some small animals also come inside in the harvesting. So this concave has to be protected. That's why before the concave, there is we call it a stone trap is there, where you collect all the stones. So remove those stones, small stones in the hourly base or daily twice or thrice base. Otherwise, what happens if the stone trap case is blocked? The small stones go inside, and the concave and the crushing drum will damage. Further damages, consequent damages will be there. Yeah, these are the important parts. When you see once, each and every part is very important. Particularly selection of the sieve. The selection of the sieve is very much important. Why I am saying very much important selection of the sieve? Because if the sieve selection, the sieve whole diameter depends upon the crop variety. That we should not forget it. There can be a short crop, there can be a long crop, there can be a middle crop, there can be a sunflower, there can be a raps, there can be a dhania. You see, in cereal and grains, we have different diameters, different size, and different weights of the grains and the cereals. Accordingly, we have to select this lower sieve and upper sieve, whether this long hole sieve or round sieve or short or longer. We have to do that. And also during the combine harvester, when experts knows that your field conditions varies. From morning, the moisture is more, evening again the moisture is more, during the noon time the moisture is good. That means you cannot harvest in the same conditions from morning to evening in the same conditions. According to the change of the time, according to the outside temperature, according to the moisture content, according to the crop conditions, we have to change. This is such much things we know. We cannot simply put GPS system and give it to calculation of the computer. Okay, that is very good. It saves the time and everything. We welcome that. But at the same, what it is doing to do that, our position, we should be knowing the function, and we should keep the machine in order. We should keep the machine in clean condition. We should keep the machine in minimizing the loss conditions. That is very much important. Yeah, this is the flow. When you see that flow, it is really like carpet. Though it is the photo is a graphical photo, in the real life also you will find that we don't have time to look at the videos and all. I know when many of you are experts, professors, students, and farmers are in this meeting. I'm very happy to speak in front of you. My guru used to say, I am a student, I am not a professor. My guru, Nakra sir, used to say, because we have to learn. I am here to learn with you. You can share your experiences also with me in combine harvester, how to minimize that. Because the subject is endless. Nobody is perfect here. We even after so many experience in this field, 35 years experience in the field, still we are ready to change and ready to adopt the new methodology and all. So this is a tangential action flow system. Here you won't find a straw walker. This is the mostly in class combines, and in Western countries combines we will find such combines. For the straw, it is not that much advisable. For the straw, since it is very aggressive, it's not that much advisable. But for the wheat and barley and other wraps and all, this is good. So everywhere you will find losses. That means the interrelations, correlations. Even in the conveyor chain, when you are giving the crop through the conveyor chain, if the chains are loose, the chains are loose means the chains will fall down and the crop cannot pass easily. If the chains are tight, means that what happened, that harvest, that shell the skin of the paddy. So that also happens. So these all adjustments are very good. That's why simply I will not come all these points to say here the conveyor chains. Simply I will say you have a daily maintenance to do. Morning 2 hours minimum every combine has to do. Light water control, oil control, nut and bolt tightening, and all belts. See, the combine is full of with belts and chains. This belt tension should be taken care, and this chain tensions should be taken care, because the belt, if the belt somewhere in the, I will show you some other slide. If the belts are brakes, the brakes, maybe that cost maybe 100 rupees or 200, 300, 500 rupees. But the problem is to replace the belt, it may take 2 hours. 2 hours means for harvesting, you can harvest 1 hectare easily with a small harvester. If it is a big harvester, you can harvest 2 hectares. That means 4 acres, 5 acres land you can use. So we cannot afford to waste our time there. So if you have a doubt in the morning that this belt will not work in the daily maintenance, you have to replace that. If you have a doubt with the chain, you have to replace that. You have to repair and do that. So your aim should be from morning to evening, and from Monday to Sunday, and from the complete season, starting the season to ending the season, the machine should work freely, and the machine should work with minimized losses. The machine should work with minimum breakdowns. The machine should work with the better efficiency of the engine. The machine should work with the better fuel consumption. All these factors, complete season, then only the farmer can be happy, the operator can be happy, the machine owner can be happy, and the nation can be happy. So this is the engine. Engine is the heart of the combine. You should ensure that the engine in the given RPM, given power produced. That is very much important in the engine, combine engine. Because unlike our engine, car engines and all, you cannot go on changing the engine speed. The combine engine runs always at the highest RPM. Say for example, 2500 RPM, it runs always. There should not be slippage. There should not be further slippage with the belts and further consequent transmissions. So the combine once the basic transmission you are getting the engine, when you are getting from the engine the basic transmission, from there you should ensure that all belts will get according to that RPM, given RPM. The straw walker has certain RPM, and that fan has certain RPM, that threshing drum has certain RPM, because that according to the crop condition, this threshing drum with a varied drive, it can be either a hydraulic varied drive or mechanical varied drive. With the varied drive, you can adjust the RPM of the threshing drum. So this all depends, provided you have a good engine, performed engine. So that's why we used to do in the maintenance that during season to season, you have to thoroughly overhaul the engine and put in your engine in good working condition. Then you cannot afford if your engine has a damage during the system. It may work with low efficiency. We cannot accept that, because when you work with the low efficiency, the dependable further chains, belts, all these transmissions, plenty of transmissions in the combine. Starting from the cutter bar, you have wheel transmission, you have auger transmission, you have conveyor chain transmission, you have cutter bar transmission, then again threshing drum or transmission, you have a fan transmission, you have sieves transmission, you have straw walker transmission. Here, there, and brake, clutch, and everything is there. All are depend upon the belts, because you need the belts. With levers you cannot do, with the belt easy. Of course, in the sophisticated machine, so many hydraulic systems came. This hydraulic system also will work only when you have a proper maintenance. If you maintain only with the dust-free environment with the hydraulic system, then only the system work. Otherwise, it will not work. So any system, the maintenance, everywhere you will find bearing. In every rotating system, you will find a bearing. There will be a nipple, grease nipple. Here you will find a grease nipple. Here you will find a grease nipple. Here, these idler pulleys, everywhere you will find. You have to grease. One has to grease thoroughly, and we have to ask our people to check thoroughly. Then only the machine work properly, and we will minimize the losses, and we will have high yielding. And we will have yielding. When you compare from the manual harvesting to the mechanical harvesting, there is an increase of the, there is a reducing of the losses. Can we imagine 10 to 15%? In the manual harvesting, we have up to 15-20% losses are there in the manual harvesting, whereas we don't have that with the mechanical harvesting. Provided we know all the mechanical and the operating system and everything, we have minimum 2% for it. So that means we as agriculturists, we as a technocrats in the agriculture field, and we are saving the grain, means we are doing something to our nation. We are doing something to our family. We are doing something to our family, our neighbors, our friends, our farmers, our land labor, whatnot. So that satisfaction one should get. For that purpose, the maintenance of the whole combine is very much important. There are so many points are here written. What to be done in a daily maintenance, what to be done in weekly maintenance, what to be done in seasonal maintenance. During the season, when the season ends, when the season ends, For example, we should remove all the tires and put the combine on a wood pieces, so that the tires won't get damaged. We should cover properly. It should be protected from the rains and the sunshines during the unseason. No, otherwise this all metal sheets get rusted and get damaged very easily. Make sure that everything properly painted in unseason, so that the season it will work. The chains should be kept in the oil, like that. That belts to be removed and kept it in the shadow place. Otherwise the belts will be get what we call it, that elastic power it will lose. So all these factors ultimately it brings to the minimizing the losses and the smooth running of the harvesters. Now we have thousands of harvesters in India, thousands of harvesters. From Punjab, heads up to Punjab people, heads up to Haryana people, first West UP people, then the mechanization took place in the entire India. So these harvesters, we have to protect the harvesters. Means we are protecting the nation, we are protecting the agriculture, we are protecting the farmer, we are protecting the self-sufficient grains and the cereals to our people. That is a great job what we are doing. That is called patriotism. That is called we don't want extra yieldage. That extra yieldage and all other topics are there. Other people will do for that. How to increase yielding, how to increase plant yielding, how to bring new systems, how to do irrigation, how to bring new seeds and all. There are so many topics are there. The other agriculture friends, they do that. But our job is,
sorry to interrupt, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for
we have completed 46 minutes. You can quickly wind up. I'll take up the questions.
Yes, madam. With this, I want to conclude. So of course, there are so many factors are there. Maybe in the some questions are there. This is the demonstrations of the different harvesters. Thank you, madam, for giving me the opportunity.
Okay, thank you very much, sir, for a detailed presentation. I will take up the questions from the participants now. In the meantime, can you please stop sharing the screen, sir, so that we can see your full video?
Yeah. Madam, this is, for example,
yeah.
And then the losses, how to control the losses means, this is from the world masters. These all are harvesters. You see John Deere, you see New Holland, you see Fiat, you see Class, different companies. This is the Class, for example. This is John Deere. All they put in one same field, and they will test. They will test the performance. They will test the losses.
Okay.
They will test the losses. So based on that losses, they will certify that. They will test all factors like fuel consumption, efficiency, how many, according to the petrol bar width, how much they are taking. They do all this. Interestingly, okay. Some machines they do with small cutter bars, much licensed. Here is one type of combing type harvester. This is a Korean harvester. You may see that photo is myself. And okay. We used to do demonstrations like this, in the beginning of our activity in Andhra Pradesh state. So that is myself in the middle. This is a Class combine harvester, which is the axial tangential flow. And this is a tractor mounted harvester. This is very popular nowadays after John Deere came. This John Deere tractor mounted harvester. And this is when I was in Germany, a photo, a big Class lexicon is a huge harvester with 400 horsepower of the harvester. And he is a gentleman. This gentleman, of course, he is no more now. Last 5 years back, he passed away. He is Mr. Class. He is Mr. Class. Okay. After his name, the company is the biggest company after John Deere harvester, world best harvesters. Class in India, we have Class combines. Is Mr. Class. When he happened to come to India, we met him. At the time, I was area manager.
Okay. Nice
Thank
to
you.
see that.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, madam.
Yes, sir. You click on that stop sharing button, sir, so that we can see your full video.
Shall I stop the share?
No. Just click on stop sharing. One button will be there, sir, in the top.
Stop sharing.
Yeah. Now we can see your full video. Okay. I'll move on to the questions, sir. The first question is, according to you, what is the main reason for the crop harvesting losses?
Yeah. Madam, country like in India, the natural calamities makes us to harvest before the rain starts, for example. So though sometimes the crop may not be ripe enough, sometimes maybe overripe, that is one issue. And the crop losses can be also, sometimes we have to wait for the machines. We have to wait for the machines. Meanwhile, the crop may get overripe. That is the thing. And third, I don't blame the operators. They are very clever enough. They are nowadays, they are doing their job very well. They know the maintenance side. Of course, there are so many training centers are there. They are teaching there. But of course, we have to, even then, we have to now and then educate for the newcomers who are coming in the field. These are and also selection of the crop, cutting the moisture, the moisture content, which time you are cutting the moisture content. These all are the factors, madam. The selection of the crop is important. We may think sometimes, this particular crop, for example, 1020 BPT is giving high number of yielding. But what happens is that harvesting losses will be there. The shutter losses, just when you touch the plant, the grain will fall down. Such losses will be there. So, the seasonal maintenance is very important. So many people, they don't do. Because they don't have time. I don't know what they think on other factors. Seasonal maintenance is important, and daily maintenance is very much important, and periodical maintenance is very much important to increase the maximum yielding of the combined harvest.
Okay. Is crop loss a problem related to India alone, or it is a global problem?
Yeah, madam, you see, that comes all through experience. When you compare with the European countries or some other countries, they have sophisticated machine, good trained technical people. Yeah, there maybe the lack of knowledge is here missing. That is one thing. That is one thing. And secondly, in those countries, they don't use spurious parts. It means non-genuine parts. They don't use. They use only genuine parts. Using of the non-genuine parts, it may cause also crop losses. That may be one issue. But we nevertheless, we don't want to underestimate our technocrats, our people. They are very clever sometimes, very clever than the other countries' people. Even our specialists, they are working in Europe. Our specialists, they are working in America. Our specialists, they are working in Africa and Middle East countries and so many countries. They are advising that. Even our technocrats, our operators, they are going and working that. It is there, but of course the machine performance, it may vary. They have got the sophisticated machine. And madam, you see, we can afford this only when you have proper price for the farmer. But the farmer is not getting proper minimum support price, maybe, or also the best price. For example, you may find 1 kilo of paddy in Japan. I don't know, here is 50 rupees there, whereas there it cost there 300 rupees or 200 rupees. So that means they can afford good machinery and good technoparts, whereas with the lower price, it is difficult to.
Okay. The next question
is
this
GPS system works very well in the abroad foreign countries because these fields are very huge. They can afford. They have that knowledge operator. Every operator have minimum good knowledge, degree knowledge they have. They have good trained people. That makes difference. Of course, we also need to train our people.
Okay.
As I said, I'm not underestimating our people. I'm not Indians are very clever.
Okay. The next question is, whose responsibility is it to reduce crop loss? What can farmers do to reduce loss?
Madam, I don't say somebody has to take responsibility. It is a teamwork. The teamwork responsibility is the machine operator. The teamwork responsibility is the farmer who select the crop. That is very much important. The teamwork responsibility is the agriculture extension people who gives the good ideas to the farmers. The teamwork responsibility is the government side, which are supposed to give good advices and good machinery, good subsidies. I don't know what. So this, I would say, we cannot simply put on one shoulder. This problem we all have to carry. Everybody has to take his share. Then only we will achieve the best result. So all are involved inside. That operator itself, we should pay them good fees. I mean, good salary. Yeah, there is a say, when you throw peanuts, monkeys will come. When you throw cashew nuts, good human beings will come. So that means we have to provide properly, because we have to give them good facilities and all these things. That means everything we should go back to the price what farmer is getting. Farmer should get good price. For farmer, that agriculture should be profitable. Should be profitable, and for his generation. Why farmer sons are not coming forward to do agriculture? Because it is not profitable. Huh? Maybe one reason. So we should assure, the society should assure for the farmer, the government should assure for the farmer, and of course farmer has to take also responsibility, and the government side and the extension side and all these things.
Okay.
Everyone has its own responsibility.
Okay. In your view, what have been the main policies implanted by government to reduce crop loss?
Yeah, certain things they can do, madam. Certain things government also cannot do, because India is a country. It's a vast country. Natural calamities, and for example, now in Andhra Pradesh, the forecast is the monsoon time. In some of the areas, it is not harvested, because after the harvesting, now this irrigation came. Different irrigation areas are there, different regions, different irrigation timing are there. For example, within our Andhra Pradesh, when you see, there is a Nagarjuna Sagar Delta, there is a Krishna Delta, and there is a Godavari Delta, for example. And all in all areas at a time, they won't harvest and they won't sow in the seeds. So they have the in difference time of 15 days or 20 days. That means in one area rains may come, and one area it may be drought. So that means one thing is we have to give the fault to the nature, which we cannot, of course, without nature we cannot do. That is one fault. And secondly, I think government can even do more things, madam, for the sake of the farmer, for the sake of the production. Of course, after all, we all are roti kapda or mechanism. We are living for good food, nutrition food. Yes, not only food, madam. We need for nutrition food.
Yeah.
So we no need to calculate the calories of 2,300 calories per day for human being. It's not like that. We need a food with proper nutrition, and not only this, other things also, other vitamins, other nutrition foods. This all support should be there. Agriculture should not be neglected. And this time is over. Yeah. Any problem, madam?
Yes, sir.
Agriculture, in coming days, it has to be taken much care, because the urbanization is taking place. Urbanization is taking very vast place. Industrialization is taking place. And day to day, the people who are working in the countryside are less and less. The educated people want, of course, a software job or a good job. And whereas the people who want to work in the agriculture means they have to work with mechanically. Mechanization should be taken care. All agricultural methodology should take care, and the government should educate, support, and of course our people part is also inside that. Whenever we get a chance, we will try to educate the people. Yes. And madam, one point, madam. Last but not, Indian agriculture farmers. Indian farmers traditionally 100 years back, they are growing like sugarcane, they are growing paddy, they are growing wheat, and with their own methods before this technology came. That means we have got a enormous experience, history in the agriculture. We have to take their thoughts. We have beautiful seeds. We have to protect our seeds. We have to protect our species. We have to protect our plant varieties. We have to protect the human diversity or plant diversity. This all we have to do. Is a huge subject, madam. There are so many experienced persons are there. That's why I hear their lectures and all.
Okay. Which type of crops are mainly experiencing harvesting loss, and why?
Losses in, madam, we can, when we understand the technique, we can understand and we can minimize the losses. For example, we'll harvest one sunflower, a big seed. Is it? Sunflower
Yes.
we can harvest, and we can harvest small wraps also, on some season or something, small things also, very light in nature and very small in diameter. We can do that. We can harvest the crop like 6 feet, 7 feet height crop is there, like that, what we call it, moon dal, not moon dal, this yellow dal.
Yes,
We call it. That dal we can harvest, and at the same time, small beans we can harvest. So you see, everything is possible. Everything is possible. Depend upon the techniques. Depend upon the understand the cutter bar. Depend upon the RPM, adjustable RPM of the threshing drum, the threshing unit, the winnowing system, the driving velocity, the driving speed. Because we have got all these experiences. These all experiences should be brought into a book. Of course, the publications are there, and like videos like this, it helps a lot. This all should be circulated and educated among the people. I think there is no particular crop which is very much lost, and there is not a crop.
Okay.
Important is the crop structure, the crop moisture, the crop pattern, the outside conditions which we cannot influence that much. You have to properly transplant. When you properly transplant, then only in the time you can harvest. If you want properly transplant, you need rains. If there is no rains in that season, what the farmer can do? Poor farmer. So you need water. If you need water, means your nadi, your river should be full of with water. If you want water in the river, means you should have rains. You should have want rains, means you should need trees. If you need trees, means you have to protect the forest. You have to protect the greenery. You have to protect the Amazon forest. You have to protect the Bastar forest. But are we doing that? Are we really doing that? Are we planting the plants in our cities? Why? Yeah, this all our responsibility, madam. Not only I cannot blame anyone. All we have to take the responsibility. Protect the nature, protect the trees. Without tree, nothing is there. Protect the trees. Ultimately, we will come there. No, when water we want irrigated land, we want. This all we have to do, madam, for the nature. For the environment.
Okay. We have one last question, sir. Can you please tell us about your education and career background? What made you take an interest in agriculture?
Madam, actually, now I'll say I am now 62 years old. At the age of 19, I went to Germany. I have done my 2.5 years. First 6 months, I have done my German language. 2.5 years, I have done vocational training. It is called diploma in agriculture techniques. That means tractors, harvesters, forage harvester, etc., etc., farm mechanization. And later at Rostock University, I have studied my BTech and MTech. That is one integrated MTech up to 1987. And afterwards, I worked in a reputed agriculture industry in Germany. That is called Ford Street. From the Germany industry, I went to Syria, I went to Czechoslovakia, I went to Egypt so many times, and I used to give the support to the farmers, like in warranty issues, service issues, training issues, and all, marketing also, of course. And later, when I came to India in the 90, I joined in Escort as area manager for Andhra Pradesh, and I was the man among the great people like Subramaniam and others. I am the beginners, one of the few who can count on the fingers. I am the man who introduced the harvester in Andhra Pradesh. This is the cross crop tiger. And later, I was in business, the same profession, harvester. I sold harvester. And I was the dealer for John Deere, L&T John Deere tractors dealer. And now, somehow, due to my personal wish, I came to the KL University. It's a great university here. KL University. Now I am working as associate professor. I am enjoying my profession in the farm machinery. I am teaching my students, 400 students are there. I'm teaching my agricultural engineering. Before I was here, I worked 4 years in Vikas College as a HOD of agricultural engineering department. And now I am at KL University as associate professor. Last but not, I will tell one more thing. I am very much fluent in German language. I teach here German language also at KL University. This is short about I'm from Vijayawada. I'm staying in Vijayawada. Thank you, madam.
Okay, that's very nice to hear, sir. Thank you very much. We have now completed the round of questions. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, I'd like to thank Mr. Jamindar Buddiga for the talk and for answering the questions in detail. I also like to thank all the participants in this meeting. This meeting will now be closed.
Thank you, madam.
You're welcome, sir.